Today, I'm gonna teach you how to make hot dog buns at home, no fluff, no BS, 2 hours or less. I'm not using any fancy tools, no special cooking equipment. You can do this with everything you probably already have at home. So let's jump right in. We'll start with the ingredients. Here's everything you need. Bread flour, sugar, milk, salt, butter or margarine, honey, instant rise yeast, 2 eggs, a large mixing bowl, a cooking tray, and parchment paper. Now let's mix all these together and see what we can make. We're gonna start by pouring out 440 grams of bread flour. Next, we're gonna do 240 grams of milk. Next, we're gonna do 30 grams of butter or margarine. I'm just dropping all this butter. Now we're gonna mix all of these ingredients together. We're gonna add 1 packet of instant yeast to our flour. We're gonna add 1 tablespoon of salt. And then really quickly, we're just gonna mix all of this together. Then we're gonna add 5 packets of sugar. And the reason I use packets is because I kind of suck at math, and this just makes it a lot easier to remember how many I need. Then we're just gonna mix it up again some more. Honestly, I could have added the sugar beforehand. I just kind of forgot. I'm gonna replace this with something better to stir with. Yeah, now that'll do nicely. Now we're gonna add our milk to this mixture, and we're just gonna mix it around a little bit. We don't need to do a whole lot. We just wanna make sure that they've kind of met each other. Then we're gonna add in our butter. And look, I get it. I prefer margarine over butter, and if that makes me weird, turns out I'm weird. Who would have guessed? We're gonna add 1 tablespoon of honey, and then we're gonna add 1 egg. Now we're gonna go back to stirring until we start to see a dough form. This dough starts off a little shaggy, but if you give it enough time, it'll start to clump up into a single unit, just like you're seeing it do now. Now, when you get to this point, it starts to get a little grabby, so I'm gonna take it out of the bowl and I'm gonna knead this by hand. Now that it's been a couple of minutes, you can see that the dough doesn't want to stick to me as much as it did before, and it's because we're starting to develop that gluten in the bread, and that's a good sign that everything is developing how it should, but you still want to keep going and you want to check it with the window test. This is the part that all the fancy YouTubers don't actually show you, is that when you do all of this kneading by hand, I mean, it leaves your hands pretty gross. It's not as clean as a lot of these people make it out to be. It's a pretty dirty process, and if you're willing to get your hands dirty, I promise the outcome will be worth it. Now that we're done, I'm gonna plop this back into my bowl. Now I'm gonna go wash my hands of all this crud. I'm gonna put a little oil on my hands to try and get this as close to a ball as we can. So I'm gonna take some olive oil, put a little in my hands. I'm gonna rub them around my hands like it's a good soap, and I'm gonna use that. Oh, goodness. That's how you know this dough is good. And now that I'm oiled up and it's not gonna wanna stick to me, I'm just gonna fold it on itself a couple of times until I can get a nice, good, firm ball. Just like that. Now I'm gonna take some clear wrap and I'm just gonna wrap the whole top of the thing to make sure that this thing can rise in peace. And now we're gonna let this dough rise for 60 minutes. Now, if you're wondering, what am I gonna do for 60 minutes while it's rising? You could practice your juggling. Maybe learn a new yo-yo trick. Go for a bike ride. Or you could do what I do and play some Donkey Kong Country. Here's what the dough looks like before the rise. And this is what it looks like after rising. Now, I've only got a couple more minutes left before this dough is done rising, so I'm gonna use this as an opportunity to just make sure that I have parchment paper in my pan ready to go. Now I'm gonna sprinkle just a little bit of flour on my countertop here just to make sure that we don't get super stuck to the counter. I'm gonna remove the dough from the bowl. I'm just gonna give it a good little pat. That looks awesome. That's exactly what we want. We're just gonna push it down here. We're gonna fold it a couple of times, kind of get it into a ball, and now we're gonna cut this into 10 even slices. I'm gonna bring in my tray just to make sure that I'm ready. I'm gonna push the rest of this flour off to the side, and I'm gonna create about a hot dog's length bun. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roll it and pinch it. And I'm gonna roll it and pinch it. And I'm gonna roll it and pinch it until we have something like this. And then we're gonna place it right in the pan like that. And we're gonna rinse and repeat until the process is done. Now we're gonna re-wrap them and we're gonna let them sit for 30 more minutes. Now that we've done that final rise for 30 minutes, I'm gonna take the top off. We're gonna use our second egg. And we're just gonna crack this open, put it into a bowl, and we're just gonna whisk this up until it's beaten. Now's a good time to mention that we're gonna preheat our oven to 375 degrees to make sure that our oven is completely warm before these go in. And the only reason I put these on is I've washed my hands so much today that my hands are starting to get dry and cracky, and I don't want flaky skin in the food. We're gonna take this egg and we're gonna lightly brush the top of all of our dough. This is not only gonna add a little bit of flavor, but it's going to give us that golden brown that we love so much about hot dog buns. Now I'm gonna take these buns and we're gonna cook them for 20 to 25 minutes until you've got that perfect golden brown.
20 minutes later.
Oh, that means they're done. Let's take these buns out and see what they look like. These look awesome and they smell so good. I wish you could smell these through the camera. Now we're gonna take these buns out of the pan. We're gonna place them on a wire rack so that way they don't get soggy on the bottom. Yo, I'm not gonna lie, I kinda wanna just eat one of these things plain because they smell so dang good. Did you see that? I just dropped some of them trying to take a thumbnail. Well, as you saw, I just lost half of them by dropping them on the carpet. So, looks like I've only got 5 now. But look at these, they are so awesome. So I'm gonna put these 2 good ones off to the side to save for us for later. I'm gonna have this one right now and see how it tastes. But I just kind of want to see what this looks like and tastes like without the hot dog. Oh! Look how soft and delicate that is on the inside. That's perfect. Oh my God! I'm not gonna lie. I knew it was gonna be good. I didn't think it was gonna be that good. No joke. I would eat these things without the hot dog. This is so awesome. You want to try some? How is that? I think she said it's pretty. Hey! What the heck? Oh my God! You silly dog! But we're not done yet because I'm going to cook a hot dog real fast. We're going to put it in the bun. I'm going to do the whole 9 yards the way that I like to do it. And then we're going to see what it actually tastes like with a hot dog. Now, everybody likes their hot dogs differently, so don't judge me for the way I like mine. I'll take one of these Reynolds pre-cut ones. And I've already got one ripped down the middle, but they come in a square. I just rip it down the center. Now, my personal hot dog toppings, ketchup and cayenne pepper. My old mentor put me onto this, and I know it sounds a little off, but trust me, this is a move. Now that my hot dog is done, I'm gonna put it in the bun. I'm gonna use a little bit of ketchup, and by that I mean a lot. I'm gonna sprinkle a lot of cayenne pepper on it, and then I'm gonna wrap it really, really tight because I want all the heat and the steam from the hot dog to be stuck inside of that parchment paper. And I'm just gonna press it down and we're gonna let it sit here for about 2 minutes. Now that it's been a couple of minutes, it's time to see how this dog actually tastes in these hot dog buns. You see how messy and gnarly it is? That's how I like it. Now let's see what it tastes like. Oh my God! Woo-hoo-hoo! That is some fancy ass shit right there. I gotta show you what this looks like. First of all, look how spongy and airy this bun is. That is way higher quality than what you can buy from a store. I wish I could explain what this tastes like. Imagine a hot dog bun if it costs $15 a bun. That's the only way to describe what this tastes like. God, that was so good. I wish I had more of the dog to show off, but it disappeared so fast. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe if you did. If not, I don't really give a shit. I'd love to sit and chat, but I got some more hot dogs to eat and I got some Donkey Kong Country to play.